Yes. So now we are doing the practical, which is brake test on DC shunt motor. In this practical, we are going to see the different graph which will be versus the output power. Okay. So that thing we will do it later. But first of all, we will see how the connection is done for this type of for this practical. Okay. So this is the circuit diagram which you can see here. Circuit diagram. In this circuit diagram you can see a 220 volt supply is given as a DC supply, and this 220 volt DC supply we are getting it by using the rectifier. Okay, rectifier means it will convert AC to DC. Okay, so this is the rectifier. In this, when we give the supply, that supply will be the AC supply, and that will be going to convert from AC to DC. So here you will get the supply which is 220 volt, and that will be the DC supply which we are giving it to the DC shunt motor. Okay, so let's see how the connection is to be done into the in this diagram you can see there is a 220 volt we are giving plus and minus, that means positive and negative, because it's a DC supply. So from positive it goes to the ammeter positive point. You can see here ammeter is connected, one voltmeter is connected, which is exactly parallel to this DC supply. Similarly, this starter is there. This is a 3-point starter where 3 points will be there. LAF. L stands for line, A stands for armature, F stands for field. So it can be a LAF or it can be a LFA, depend on how the things are giving in the on the panel. So in our panel it is given LAF. So that is called as a 3-point starter. After that you can see one motor is connected, then field winding is connected, one rheostat is connected. So these things are there. These are the nothing but the apparatus for this particular DC shunt motor practical. Okay. Similarly, we also have a loading arrangement. Means by using this loading arrangement we are going to increase the load, and so that as the load increases or decreases, depend on that what will be the effect on this motor, that we are going to see. What will be the effect on speed of the DC shunt motor, what will be the effect of armature current, that we are going to see once we start with the practical. So now let us see how the connection is to be done. So let's start. When the 220 volt, okay, before that I wanted to show you what are the apparatus is given in for this practical. So you can see this is the voltmeter, this is the voltmeter, right? As we are giving a 220 volt supply, so here you will get that 220 volt DC supply constant. This is the ammeter. You can see by using this ammeter we will get to know the field, we will get to know the current which is flowing into the supply. Okay, so this is the ammeter. Then this is called as a rheostat. But this is not the fixed rheostat, this is the variable rheostat. If you see, there are two knobs here. One is this one and another is the upper one. So both the when the connection is done, first point is done at the connection is done at the down one, and the another connection is going at the upper one. It means it's a variable rheostat. Okay, if this wire is connected here, then it is called as a fixed rheostat. As because one connection is at down and one is at the up, and then it is called as a variable rheostat. So by just varying this, if you see, you have to hold it in this way and you have to hold it this way, and you have to move this rheostat so that you can increase or decrease the value of resistor. Got it? Similar, this is nothing but the rheostat, which is a variable rheostat we are using. Now see the panel. This is the DC supply on. Once we give the once we on the rectifier, we will get the 220 volt supply. We will get only that 220 volt when we will on this switch. So once this switch is on, this light will get turned on. After that, this is called as a starter. If you see this is the starter where one knob is connected here. So when we move this knob from this minimum to maximum value, so it will there will be a 5 resistor here, R1, R2, R3, R4, R5, like this. So as the starter we will due to the starter we will just increase this knob till the maximum value here. Then after that your motor will start running at one particular speed. So this is nothing but called as a starter, where will increase the speed of the DC shunt motor gradually. Okay, R1, R2, R3, R4, R5, like that. So in that way your DC shunt motor will speed of that motor will increase gradually. So once this is on, your whole your panel is ready to take the reading. So let's see how the connection is to be done. If you see here, we are giving positive supply to the ammeter positive. Positive supply to the ammeter positive. So this is the positive supply. You can see here. This is called as a positive wire. I have taken one wire from positive and connected to the positive of this voltmeter. Okay, positive of this is the positive voltmeter, this is the negative of the voltmeter. So we have connected from DC, we have connected the positive of DC supply, given it to the positive of voltmeter. Next what? After that, connected to the line terminal. Negative of ammeter is connected to the line terminal. So of ammeter is connected to the. So if you see here, the voltmeter is exactly connected parallel to the DC supply, positive to positive voltmeter, negative to negative of the DC supply. So both connected exactly parallel to the DC supply. Okay. After that, we are going to see the positive of this ammeter is connected to the ammeter positive. Okay, positive of the DC supply is connected to the ammeter positive. The ammeter positive. This is called as the ammeter. We are taking this common point is positive, and the 20 ampere rating we are taking, that's why this is 20, it is written. So this now we are using it. Okay, so positive. Yes, so what I said, the supply is connected to the positive of ammeter. After that, ammeter negative point is connected to the line terminal. Ammeter line terminal, you can see the line LAF is written, L, A and F. So this is connected. So you can say ammeter is connected with the line terminal. Ammeter is connected in series with the line. So this part is over. Line means 3-point starter ka line. Got it? So here this part is over. The whole part is over. Now we are going for the armature one. So from armature, here you can see the armature at 3-point starter, where armature A point is there. From armature, it is going it to the motor A1, AA. You all know that it can be written A1, A2 or AAA. Got it? So this is the motor. So armature is connected to the motor. You can connect it to the motor A. The same motor we have drawn here, A. Then is this one. The motor AA is connected to the field winding FF, and we can make it short as well. Motor AA is connected in short with the field winding FF. So you can see AA and FF. AA and FF we have just shorted with each other. Got it? This is we have shorted. This is we have shorted. You can see the black wire which is in my hand. It's shorted now. Okay? It's going back to the negative supply. This AA, that is from motor side, AA going back to the negative supply. Let's see. I can connect from AA to negative or FF to negative. Both are same thing because we have short circuited. So if you want you can take it from FF to negative. You can make it from AA to negative. So I have done here with these two are short circuited. So in this way we have connected from FF to negative. So ultimately this both are connected to negative only. Is going back to the negative of the supply. So this AA is also done. The connection of this part is also done. Now what is the part is left? That is this one. Okay, that is this one is left. So what we have done, this is the field winding, LAF. F is the field of the starter. So from that field winding, from that field point, it is going it to the rheostat minimum position. The first position is minimum and the last one will be maximum. So we are converting it to the we are connecting it to the minimum position. So let's see F to rheostat minimum position. So you can see here F, that is the starter F point, is connected to the rheostat minimum position. This is minimum. Okay, the down one is the minimum. So after rheostat after field to minimum connection, we are going to take the maximum connection. From maximum line, that is this is the maximum one. So from maximum point it is connected to the field winding. From maximum point, you can see this is maximum. From this maximum point it is connected to the field winding. And after that, once this connection is done, that is from field to rheostat minimum and rheostat to maximum to field F1, and this part is already we have done it. This is already short, and after doing that short connection we have connected to the negative as well. The whole connection of this brake test on DC shunt motor is done. Now what is this? This is nothing but called as a loading arrangement. By using this only we are giving the load to the DC shunt motor. So this is S1, S2, both are in kgs. So this arrow which I have shown here, this arrow is showing how much kg you have given. Means 5 kg, 2 kg, 3 kg, how much we have given, that you can see it on this panel. That we will see, that I will show you while taking the reading. And this is nothing but the drum, and the drum radius is around 0.15 meter. You can see I have written there the radius of this drum is around 0.15 meter. This R we are going to use it while doing the calculation. Okay, so these are the belts. Belts are connected to this drum. Okay, so when we just give the load or increase the load, this belt will start tighten up. When it's going to tight, it means we are increasing the load. So this way we have done with the whole connection part of this brake test on DC shunt motor. Now we are going to start with the take the reading for this particular practical, and then we'll do the calculation after this. This is the loading arrangement. As I told you, this is that S1, S2 where you can see the where you will get how much kg you have given as a load. So S1, S2, or you can make a vice versa, S1, S2, anything. Okay, this is nothing but that drum, and radius of drum is from here to this point. What is the radius of the drum? That is given, which is 0.15 meter, which we are assuming. Part. Now we are going to start with the reading part. We have to take the readings, and accordingly we have to draw the graph for DC shunt brake test on DC shunt motor. So you can see the diagram here. When I am saying DC shunt motor, it means field winding and armature winding should connected in parallel. Okay, the same way we have done the connection here. We'll start with the first reading. As you can see, there is a rectifier here. By using this rectifier, we are just converting AC supply to DC supply. So from here only we are giving the rated voltage, which is 220 volt, and see it in the panel. We are giving it to the DC shunt motor as a 220 volt. Got it? It's 220 volt. You can see here. So this is 220 volt. We got it for the rated speed. Now if you see, one drum is here. In that this belt is loose. This belt is loose. It means they don't have any load. We have not uploaded any load here. So that's why the belt is loose here. You can see the load S1 is in kg, S2 is in kg. Both are 0, right? The weight is 0. If it is not, you have to make it 0 by using this screw. Okay, now you can see both are 0. Got it? Now we have to take the speed of the motor. Okay, so let's take the speed of the motor by using the tachometer. You can see the tachometer where the speed we can take it. This is the motor and that is the shaft. Inside the shaft we have inserted the tachometer and we are going to take the reading of speed. Speed of the motor was 1300 rpm and we need to make it at 1500 rpm. This is our rated speed. Got it? So this speed we are making it for 1500. So you can see I am just changing this rheostat because it's a variable rheostat, and we are keeping it to the 1500 rpm speed. You can see the upper range, that is 0 to 20 ampere, because our motor rating current is 19 ampere, that is up to 20 ampere you have to take the reading. So here you can see the first range, the upper range we have to take it as a, we have to consider for the reading. So this is coming out to be 1, okay, 0, 2. So in between one line is there, it means it's a 1. So we got the first current value is 1.2 ampere. Okay, so here we have to write the first one, which is 1.2 ampere. Voltage is constant, which is 220 volt. Speed we have make it constant, which is 1500 rpm. And the S1 S2, it means there was no load, it means 0 kg, and here also 0 kg. And obviously S is equals to S1 minus S2, it becomes a 0. So in this way we have taken the first reading. Now we are going for the second reading. Now for the second reading, we are going to increase the load. We are going to increase the load. You can see sir is increasing the load, and we have to take the current for it. So as you see, as the load increases, current will also get increased, and that is the second reading is 3 ampere. So 3 ampere, and for the same current we have to take the speed of the DC motor. Out to be 1487, that is 1487 rpm. For the same speed, for that current and speed we have to take the load. So this is the S1, this is S2. If you see, S1 is the bigger value you have to take it as a S1. So here is the bigger value, so that one we are taking. S1 is 3 kg and S2 is around 1.5 kg. So this is S1 and this is S2. So that value you have to take it here, S1 and S2. So this is the second reading we got, and the voltage will be constant. Now again we are increasing the load, and accordingly we have to take the current and speed of the induction DC shunt motor. Increasing the load, we have changed the value of current, which is around 4 ampere. So we will write it here for the third reading, which is 4 ampere. For that we have to take the speed of the DC shunt motor. Here you can see again the load increases. The S1 is coming out to be 5 kg and S2 is coming out to be 2 kg. S2 is coming out to be 2 kg, and for that the speed of the DC shunt motor was 1470. DC shunt motor is 1470, S1 is 5 kg, okay, S2 is around 2 kg, got it, and the voltage will be 220 volt constant. So in this way we have to take the reading, and then we have to do the calculation. The calculation part is here, and that we will do it later.